Welcome to episode 3 of Sightless Voices, Unleashing Potential. I am your hostie with the mostie, Jennifer Parrish, and today we're going to be talking all about assistive technology with our resident assistive technology trainer, Mr. Steven Johnson. Welcome. Hey. And so we will be discussing how technology has changed throughout the years and how it has impacted people's lives. So real quick before we get started today, guys, we just want to kind of set the scene for our blind and visually impaired folks. So our background is a white brick background. Steven and I are sitting in blue chairs. I am wearing a dark blue and kind of reddish orange blouse, and he's wearing a dark blue polo shirt.
Some Dockers and some casual kicks.
And there you go. Steve, why don't you give us just kind of a general overview of assistive technology for the blind and low vision community?
Well, assistive technology basically consists of software and hardware that makes the computer easier to use. There are magnification devices all the way from huge desktop magnifiers all the way down to tiny handhelds that do OCR. There are software products that will magnify the computer screen. There are software products that will actually read the computer screen. Mobile devices have been revolutionized by assistive technology in the last 10 years. The iPhone actually comes out of the box talking. It can talk at the Apple Store. You can make it talk. Android is the same way. There are wearable devices that blind people and low vision folks can purchase to actually describe scenes around them. They can call friends or allies or services that can help them navigate through places like airports and shopping malls. It's come a long, long way since I was a pup.
It absolutely has. And you mentioned OCR. Why don't you, for the folks that don't know, why don't you kind of tell them what that stands for and what it is?
Optical character recognition. It'll read a book to you. It'll read your mail. It'll read a pamphlet or a instructional sheet that your doctor gives you. It'll read stuff from the pharmacy. It reads print, takes a picture of it, and an AI or similar technology analyzes that print and finds the letters in it and reads it with nowadays a very, very clearly understood synthesized electronic voice.
Absolutely. And so let's just talk for a second about, because and I know we've been around a minute. And so assistive technology has evolved tremendously.
Oh, it sure has.
And yeah, absolutely. Like I was just talking on another podcast about how back in the 90s I was reading books on tape. But let's focus on the last decade specifically. So let's just talk about the evolution of assistive technology over the past 10, 15 years or so.
One of the big ones I want to talk about is OCR.
Yep.
OCR, we had a program back in the like 2008, 2006 called Open Book, that it was a software program that actually would use a scanner to render the printed word into speech. And it did okay. It made mistakes. We just lived with it. Nowadays, we don't put up with the mistakes because AI has made OCR so good that it seldom makes mistakes. If it makes a mistake, it's usually operator error. It's because you got your paper crooked or you don't have your wearable device aimed right at the print you're trying to read. OCR has gotten so good. Another area that has evolved immensely over the last 10 years is Android and the iPhone. Both of these devices now, just about every app that you could ever install, with the exception of a few on iPhone and Android, of course, are pretty accessible, all the way from maybe a scale of a 6 on a scale of 1 to 10, all the way up to the tip top, all the way up to 10. Another branch of assistive technology that's moved up quite a bit is magnifiers. Portable, handheld, and desktop magnifiers now. Most of the more legitimate devices have OCR. There are still some old school ones that are relevant that don't have OCR. But most of the new products, starting with the COVID era, 2020 and moving forward, a lot of them do have OCR. Wearables. We haven't had wearables really work good or, work to where they would benefit us until the last 3 or 4 years. And I guess that would qualify as being in the last decade.
Yeah.
But like the Envision glasses and things like the Orcam and even the Meta glasses that are an off-the-shelf technology, or we can now buy assistive technology that truly benefits us off the shelf. And that's one thing one advent that's happened in the last 10 years, where we could actually go to the mall and buy a device that would describe scenes for us, so that would read text using AI for us.
Yeah. Yeah, the Meta AI, the Meta glasses look really cool. I've never seen them personally, but
They are super cool.
I want to try them because, for personally, I don't have very much vision either, so I think that'd be really beneficial.
They're kind of made for virtual reality, but they benefit us pretty well. I mean, they'll describe scenes, they'll read stuff. That's all I need.
Exactly. The impact of assistive tech on our independence and quality of life. This is huge. This is enormous, right? So, I mean, in 2011, 12, Uber hadn't obviously been invented yet. There was no shopping delivery services, lots of stuff like that. So let's talk about that for a second.
Well, you hit some of the good ones.
Yeah.
One of the ones that's the most important in my life is being able to do my own grocery shopping, whether it's at the store or at home. I can get on Instacart and I know what I'm going for. I can put things in my cart and buy them, and they're delivered in like an hour. I can go to the store with Envision glasses and call somebody up on Ira, which is a professional service that works through the Envision glasses that will describe things and help you with things. Or I can call a friend and they can guide me through the grocery store. Okay, you want cereal? Hook a right. Okay, you want bread? Hook a left. It's 2 aisles up. Keep going. And I can shop independently, and I can bargain shop. Not only do I have to settle for, just the first thing I come to, or my guide going, well, here's peanut butter, and settling for that, I can actually bargain shop, and I can get the person guiding me through my wearable to guide me to the coupons. I can grab one, show it to them, and they can say, well, are you looking for, Mrs. Baird's bread? Well, here's a coupon for it for 20% off. And I can not only shop, but I can bargain shop. Another huge one in my life has been how good the iPhone has gotten. Yeah. The iPhone, I can order rides. I can keep my own schedule. I can keep up with my own calendar. I can do, I would dare say 98% of the things that my sighted peers can on the iPhone. I can set up meetings with people. I can work on Zoom, Teams. I can handle emails. I can search the web. Yeah. Those are two of the big ones, and not to mention the advances in computer software that have made it so much more practical and possible for us to get jobs and maintain them and be taken seriously by our sighted peers, because we can do what they can through through software technology especially. Exactly. And
one of my favorite kind of impacts too is I get to read menus. How cool is that, right?
Cool.
So you get on, and we admittedly, we order Uber Eats quite a bit in my household, so you can get on there. And even if you're going to a restaurant, you can go okay, what do they have? Well, normally they're on one of those delivery services or something, or their menus online. You can check it out and you can not go, so what do they got? Whenever you get there, and look crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You're informed. And so I always like that. So we've kind of covered, the basics of sort of the evolution and the impacts and things like that. So now I guess let's get to the showcasing of some of these devices.
Well, I talked about the iPhone and how advanced and how accessible it has become. And I brought one with me, and I use voiceover. I'm totally blind, and I don't use any screen magnification. Although if I was low vision and I needed screen magnification, I'd have it, because the iPhone, I have an older iPhone, but I think starting with the iPhone 13 and newer has a magnifier app that will not only magnify things that you aim your camera at, but it will also recognize text. So you could turn on magnifier and aim the iPhone's camera at some text, and magnifier is going to start reading it, which is super cool. But I use voiceover, so let's do a little demonstration. I'm going to unlock this phone, turn it up. And here we go. So I'm on my home screen.
Dog, Safari.
I can read, I'm going to turn this down a little because I think it's blasting. I can read all of my apps by simply touching the middle of my phone.
Costco.
And
Tap to open.
I'm a shopper. Costco was the first one I hit. Mm-hmm. And I can swipe left or right to move through my applications.
Settings. App Store. iTunes Store. Maps. Podcasts.
I can send a text.
Double tap to messages.
I simply touch my text app, double tap on it. Messages. Find my compose button.
Messages. Compose button.
I double tap.
Text
and I type
editing.
Jennifer.
B, K,
let's
J,
type.
U,
let's
J,
find a J.
E, E, N.
Okay.
Results. Jennifer Parrish.
Okay, we're about to text her. And we can use a combination of Siri and voiceover to really get things done fast.
Add content. Apps. Message. Text field. Insertion point at end.
Hello, Jennifer, period. This is a fun podcast, comma, isn't it? Question mark.
Inserted. Hello, Jennifer. This is a fun podcast, isn't it?
Just like that.
Message. Text. Send.
We'll
Button.
send the text.
Send message. Text field.
And
text message.
I can check email with this phone. I can set up reminders, and I can make it shut up. I can set up reminders. I can add calendar appointments. I can join Zoom and Teams meetings. I can get on Instagram. I've never gotten on Twitter, but I have friends that do. I just never took an interest.
Yeah, I use Twitter for fantasy football.
Okay, I can do fantasy football.
We can do that too. There's another thing too. Exactly.
I belong to 2 leagues.
Yes, me too.
This iPhone will do everything for me that it will do for a sighted person. I can take pictures with the camera. This iPhone will tell me when a face is in focus. I open the camera, I hold it up, and I wave it around until I hear somebody talk, aim it at their face, and it tells me there's a face in the center of your screen.
Yep.
So not only does it identify that there is a face there, and it tells me whether I'm in focus or not. So that is pretty cool. There's a million things that this iPhone will do. I haven't downloaded too many apps on the iPhone that didn't work to some extent or all the way. All right, next thing I'd like to show off is how accessible modern computing is with JAWS. I am using JAWS. I'm not using any screen magnification, and I believe this is a Windows 11 machine. It's
correct.
Borrowed from my good friend Jennifer over here.
Yes, sir.
So this screen reader software will enable me to navigate every part of Windows, and you said this was Windows 11, right?
It's a Windows 11, yes.
Okay, so we can go to the desktop just by simply pressing Windows M. We can use our arrow keys or first slider navigation to navigate around the desktop. We'll press G for Google Chrome. We can go into Microsoft Word and compose any document we want. We can type, "Hello, Dolly," and we can select it. We can change the font. And we just changed font and font size. We can do a bulleted list, which I won't do because it'll take a second. We can surf the internet. I'm going to close Word. And we're going to tell it no. And we're going to go to Google Chrome. And we can search for dinosaurs. I don't know why I'm searching for dinosaurs. I should be searching for saxophones. A new saxophone.
Steve is a sax player.
I'm a horn player.
By the way, he plays the horn quite well, might I add.
So we just went to Google Chrome and typed in dinosaurs, and we can quickly browse through our search results just by hitting a navigation quick key.
So navigation quick keys, let's kind of elaborate a little bit on what those are.
Those
for the folks at
are
home.
one-key commands that allow you to navigate the screen by certain increments. Google search results are presented in the form of headings. At the top of every Google search find is a heading level, JAWS calls it heading level 3, and we can simply hit the number 3 on the keyboard to quickly browse through all Google search results. And we're going to do that. Types of dinosaurs. The best of dinosaurs. You guys get the message. We can also work with Excel, which 10 years ago, JAWS
not, yes.
version 11 or what it was, wasn't great in Excel. We can open up Excel. And I'm just going to my start menu.
Yeah, I don't think that's on the desktop.
There's Excel. I'm opening it. She's got her JAWS going pretty fast. I might slow it down just a tad.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to open up. Okay, we're going to open this. So we're in Excel. I can type in A1, I can type a number 23. Next cell, I can type a number 25. And I can type equals A plus B. And I get an error because I didn't type the formula right, but that's okay.
That's all right.
That's what happens when it's the end of the day and you get in a crazy hurry.
Correct.
But it does work wonderfully. Excel works we can do pie charts, we can work with pivot tables, we can have multiple worksheets going at the same time, no sweat.
Yep.
JAWS is tricked out. There are these pieces of code written for JAWS called scripts, and there are sighted and blind people all over the world that write JAWS scripts and tailor JAWS to work with any off-the-shelf app that people want JAWS to work with. So if somebody buys, a piece of software like Office 365 has been totally tricked out for JAWS.
Yep.
Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Firefox, all the browsers, even some older stuff like Oracle. But when an app hits the market and us blind folks really want to use it, there's always somebody out there willing to write a JAWS script to make it work beautifully with JAWS. And that's, we talked about evolution of technology earlier in this podcast. 10 years ago, there weren't as many people willing to develop stuff for us. Now there's companies competing with each other to develop cutting edge technology, especially with the advent of AI. Everybody's getting on the AI train, and everybody's trying to invent accessible technology for us that is powered by AI.
And that's the beautiful thing about all of it is people are competing for our love, basically, trying to invent, things that will create beautiful AI descriptions or AI this and that and the other thing. Whereas, before the inclusivity was not there. And now, app developers are kind of fighting to make sure that their stuff is accessible. And so that's beautiful.
And they're popping up on the market every day. There's a new manufacturer of some new device.
Yes. Accurate.
And they're fighting each other, and they need to come down on the price just a tad.
Just a little bit.
Would be
Please,
nice,
guys.
but
we're working, folks.
Good, good tech. Something that's really versatile is still probably in the $2,500 to $5,000 range. And if the modern market could make that stuff just a little more affordable, that'd be fantastic.
So let's talk about some tips for selecting, a new app or assistive technology device. So somebody's kind of maybe lost their vision recently, and kind of how they would navigate that.
Think about what you need it for.
Yeah.
If you've just lost your vision and you're trying to keep in touch with folks, and you're trying to be independent at home, you're trying to shop by yourself, you're trying to pay your bills by yourself, it all starts with a good computer that's accessible to you, whether you need screen magnification or whether you need a screen reader. It all starts there. Learn the iPhone or the Android, because iPhones and Androids are just baby computers. Both are extremely accessible. Android, the word among blind and visually impaired people that have been sight impaired for a long time are that Android is on the catch-up trail. No, Android is caught up. I promise you guys. It's a little steeper learning curve than iPhone. I would say get a good phone and learn it. Sharpen your computer skills. Learn JAWS or Fusion or whatever assistive technology you need to work well on the computer. If you can afford it, get yourself a wearable or have one provided for you. A wearable is going to help you out in the world. It's going to help you navigate mobility-wise. It's going to help you shop. It's going to help you identify things in your environment. And it's also going to help you read QR codes, which I really want to bring up because I went to a museum last year, and they had all this painting exhibit came through. And to me, it was just a bunch of paintings in front of me. And somebody told me, well, there's all these paintings. And they tried to describe them. And the lady at the museum said, well, sir, they've got QR codes. So I aimed my phone at one of the QR codes, and this website opened, and this audio description started playing. I had never experienced anything like that at an art museum. I've always gone and been bored.
Right.
I couldn't leave the place. They had to peel me out of there because I wanted to get descriptions of every one of those paintings because I'd never had paintings described to me like that before. Your friends, they're trying to enjoy the show, and they're trying to describe. They do the best they can. But there's nothing better than a well-prepared description of something like that. And I encourage anybody, if you're marketing a product, if you're trying to show something like at an exhibit or something, put QR codes on it so that a web page opens with an accessible description of what you're showing off on it, because it'll it'll make huge inroads for us, being able to understand what you're showing us and to enjoy it with the maximal joy that we possibly can.
Mm-hmm. And we here at the Lighthouse have just implemented new business cards, and they have QR codes on them. And if you show the QR code to your phone, it'll pull up, like say if I give you my business card, you scan the QR code on your phone, and it brings up my contact information, which you can then store.
Cool. Do you have one yet?
I do. I have them. They're not here and here, but I have them. Yes,
I know you, but I still want your business card.
I will hook you up. Don't worry about that. And then we also, I think, real quick before we wrap up here, we want to speak briefly about something that we've implemented here at the Lighthouse as well. It's called Right Here. So why don't you kind of give us a little overview about that?
Right Here is cool. It's like talking signs, and it works through an app on your phone. You install the Right Here app on iPhone or Android, and we have beacons scattered throughout the Lighthouse that tell you where you are and tell you what's coming up. Like you'll turn the app on, and the app will actually have you turn, facing. It'll tell you what's down a hall when you face it. So it'll tell you something like, go 30 feet and you'll come to a junction. Turn right, you're at the snack machines. Turn left and you're at the executive offices. So when you turn right at the snack machines, it'll say, go straight. On your right's the activity center. On your left is the studio. And so it basically guides you through the talking signs concept through the Lighthouse. And as you walk through the Lighthouse, it picks up on signals from different beacons, the app does. And the beacons broadcast to your app what information they contain. So like if I'm coming up on the beacon for a junction to turn right and to go to the activity center or to turn left and go to the pool, it's going to say, up ahead, turn right to go to the activity center in 30 feet, turn left to go to the pool. And it's really a great medium to guide us through the Lighthouse, especially for we're newcomers, or if you get somebody here that's got the app that's never been here and they're trying to find the low vision center. They walk in the door and it says, welcome, you've just entered the front of the I can't remember exactly what it says.
Yeah,
it's something
the
like,
lobby or something.
The lobby. And Thomas will greet you, our receptionist. Go straight to go to the low vision center. Turn right to go, to go to the snack machines. And it guides you pretty much every step of the way, and it doesn't bug you as you walk 20, 30, 40 feet.
Yeah.
It will give you cues as needed. It's been calibrated over the months that we've had it. It started off kind of...
A little shaky.
It was shaky, telling you to turn, and you'd feel a wall. You say, well, I don't know. I guess I don't need to be turning. Use those cane
skills, kid.
Use those cane skills. But now it's a lot more accurate as far as telling you when to turn and telling you when something's actually coming up. It tells you where bathrooms are. It says, if you turn right, there's a men's and women's bathroom. If you keep going, there's the pool. If you keep going, there's the art center. So it's like I said, it's like talking signs.
And it's
pretty innovative.
Yeah, and it's customizable too. So like we had an event here recently, and it was like a back to school fair, and we had a bunch of people here, and someone, I guess Terry, probably customized it and made every little breakout session, like go here for daily activities, go here for cooking, go here for and so we can customize them according to what event we're having. And so that's the kind of one of the beauties of it.
That's what's cool about it. If somebody, implements and puts it in their place, they can tailor the heck out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And they did for this last event, they really, worked hard on that. So I thought that was pretty cool. So hopefully we continue to do that. And, for our folks that come here for the very first time and like, oh my God, I don't know where to go. That app will be helpful. So we kind of suggest that you download that. And yes, you walk right in the lobby. To your right is Thomas, and it should tell you that. Thomas is our receptionist. Shout out to Thomas. And, he's very helpful.
I want that app at Minute Maid Park.
I do too. I do too. Go Stros.
Turn right for snacks.
Exactly. So looking towards the future, I mean, there's a lot of new stuff coming out, and we have a very, very, very broad horizon of stuff. So let's talk about that for a second. Future.
I think the wave of the future right now is AI described scenery. Is something like OpenAI or Seeing AI has a part of the app called Be My AI. That I was riding down the road the other day and I pointed it out the window and said, there's some trees down and there's a dilapidated house with blue shingles and a brown tile front. And it was describing in painful detail all this stuff.
Thank you, Hurricane Beryl.
Thank you. She tore us up good.
Yes.
But I think the wave of the future is the things that OpenAI can do and the things that different sources of AI technology can bring to scene description, to text reading, to analysis of routes. Like if we're walking somewhere with our cane and we can ask the AI, I am walking to Kroger's. How far am I? Based on the scene around me or based on what you see in front of me, give me explicit directions to get to Kroger's. Yep. And it's going to do that a heck of a lot better than even modern non-AI powered technology. I think the wave of the future is AI and AI powered scene description.
AI is huge. I'm so excited about all that, man. We're in for some stuff. All right, so today we kind of talked about, technology, the evolution, the impact, how we can, it's helping us do our jobs more accurately and professionally, and access and increasing our accessibility, and also on the recreational side of it as well. We can shop, we can play fantasy football. We can, read menus, and all.
We can get to the airport.
Yeah, exactly. We can get to the airport.
Yeah, and through it.
We
can find our gate.
Correct.
No sky cap needed.
Exactly. So, and I mean, it's beautiful. So I hope everyone enjoyed today's episode. If you did enjoy today's episode, please like and subscribe. And you can find our podcast on your Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And we thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you, guys.